So here we are at one of our young cherry orchards. This is an orchard that is now 2 years old. And one of the strategies that we're looking at here on our farm is cover crops. And traditionally, when people think about cover crops and orchards, you think about the alleyway, this space between the trees, and growing cover crops there. And you can see here that we have planted lines of cover crop in the alleyway with our drill. You can see those lines running up the alleyway. We then take a mower that we mow and blow that material onto the row, and we're continuing to research and find the best management techniques for planting the cover crops, and then also the best equipment and techniques for blowing that material into the tree row where it can be used as green mulch. But one of the strategies that we also use is placing compost in our rows. And so we apply compost about every 3 years or so into the tree row. And so we thought, boy, how could we open the area up in the tree row and have that benefit from cover crops? So our team here at Omega Orchards, we got together and we thought, what if we blended cover crop seed into the compost that we apply? And we generally apply compost in the fall. And so we thought, well, a fall sown cover crop would be great because we don't have to worry about irrigating these orchards through the winter. And so we can grow something in the tree row during the winter and then have something that will winter kill. And that way we have clean strips in the spring. And the reason is that we don't want to block our sprinklers. You can see a sprinkler right there. We don't want to grow cover crops year round in the tree row itself, at least at this time, because we cannot find one that grows short enough it won't interfere with our sprinklers and our irrigation distribution. So what we did is we mixed with the compost right before application. We actually mixed tillage radish seed in with that compost, and you can see here that we have this beautiful crop of tillage radish. These radishes are between 3 weeks or so old, I believe, and it's been a real success. We didn't go about it very scientifically. We just kind of threw seed into the compost and mixed it around and tried it in a few rows. And you can see that we have a really thick stand of radish here, perhaps even thicker than what we need. But I'm really pleased with these results. We are also going to investigate direct broadcast seeding into our compost, our rows that have had a compost applied, to see how that works. But I don't think we're going to get as good a germination as what we have here. So let's take a closer look at what these are doing at 3 weeks old. Okay, here you can get an idea of the amount of cover that we have with these tillage radish. That's really important because we want to prevent winter weeds from germinating in our tree rows. You can see that we have mallow encroaching on this row, but we think that the tillage radish canopy is going to be really large here. It is going to be really large. We've got probably about another 6 weeks of growing time before this is going to be winter killed. And so this is going to be a really thick canopy that we think once it dies will suppress our weeds. Okay, so our interest is to open up this soil as much as we can underneath these young trees here. So I'm just going to show you, this is a tillage radish that I just pulled out of the ground. And you can see that this root, this tap root, which broke off, is nice and long, and that's exactly what we want. We want to grow this tap root so that it opens up a channel through which air and nutrients can go down into the soil, and these passageways, once this radish dies after winter kill and decays, it's just going to be really, really amazing pathway for the soil biology that we want to encourage to go as deep as we can underneath these trees. This passageway is going to be what they can use as a superhighway. We'll come out here again in a couple weeks and I'll make another video. This is very small, and again, we're looking at about a 3-week-old radish here. In another 2 or 3 weeks, this root is going to be, almost as big around as my arm and probably go down much deeper. Again, this root broke off, but that's a nice long root for a plant of this age. So here we are trying a novel approach to using cover crops in orchards.